2 film directors, 1 trained actor, and Jackie are here to bring you the 500th episode of Stinker Madness. Buckle up, Buttercup. This is Stinker Mad. Okay. Hello and welcome to our 500th episode. You have made it quite a long ways in this journey with us, fellow listener. Thank you for everybody who has taken part in all 7 jillion hours of this podcast that we started way back in, I think, 2014. So also 7 years of doing this. This week, we've got Deep Blue Sea, a classic stinker from 1999?
99.
And with us, to commemorate this special occasion, is our most frequent and lovable guest. Tucker is here.
Aww, you guys.
To join us. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
We thought, yeah, it wouldn't be the same without you, since you've done so much for us, and you'll probably have to do so much more for us again. Jackie's here.
I've got a special song.
Okay.
To commemorate our 500th episode.
Uh-huh.
Sam. He likes sandwiches, Sando Sam. He's a co-host with Justin, who just tells us what's going on. Yeah, it's Justin.
I thought you had this prepared.
I do. Be quiet. And then there's me. Yeah, the queen. Yeah, and our special guest, Truckin' Tucker.
Truckin' Tucker.
Yeah.
Huh.
500.
There's not even alliteration in Truckin' Tucker. It doesn't rhyme. If it was Trucker Tucker, that would work, but it's Truckin' Tucker.
Hey, man, it's the best I can do off the top of my head, okay? You're right. I didn't have her prepared. I was just winging it like I always do. I'm not going to cheat out our listeners now.
Oh, yeah. They've been waiting all 500 episodes for one of your songs.
They love my songs.
Uh-huh. Sam, why don't we get to you? And why don't you take over and tell us what you know about the masterpiece that is Deep Blue Sea?
There's really one thing that's way more interesting than anything else about Deep Blue Sea. And that's that Tom Jane actually filmed a scene with swimming with a real shark. And they had to shoot it last in case he died.
Oh!
What?
They're like, Tom Jane, you are expendable.
Oh, my God.
What mean expendable, Tom Jane? Okay, so he has to swim with sharks last. What did you find out what type of shark he had to swim with?
Is it Mako shark, I think?
Aren't Makos pretty
super
nasty?
dangerous?
Yeah. I mean, they're not great whites, obviously. And, you know, I mean, okay, I'll bitch about shark movies later, but, and praise this movie for one thing, but I think tigers are more dangerous, but Makos are like 3rd or 4th most dangerous.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I guess the most interesting of the boring bullshit is that we don't know shit about sharks still. Like, this was done when we're like, my God, we finally learned about sharks. They don't get cancer. They don't sleep. Mm-hmm. They sleep and they get cancer.
Oh, they do. Huh?
So everything that, like, every time we start to really discover the smallest thing about sharks, what we really know is we don't know shit about sharks.
We should just
because the tiger shark is supposed to be completely dangerous. But I just watched a documentary like a year and a half ago with people swimming with the damn things. It depends on what region they're in. It's like, they're like dogs. That shark's mean. That one's not.
Okay.
It's...
And the time of day and the weather.
Everything that anyone says about sharks is like bullshit. Statistically, the bull shark has more attacks on humans than anything else, I guess.
Yeah, bull shark. I'm familiar with that as well.
They also like to wear leather jackets, and they have their fin pierced.
Right.
And you know who it was that pointed out the incongruencies with science as it pertains to sharks that I was reading about? Renny Harlin.
Okay.
He's good for something every once in a while. He's like, yeah, we made this movie that was supposed to be the science. Turns out it was all bullshit. Whatever. Renny also said that this was Renny also said this was the hardest movie he ever made. Which
harder than Cutthroat Island.
Did that seem hard to make?
It seemed hard to film because there was a lot of set pieces and expensive sequences and dangerous stunts in that. A lot of opportunity for things to go wrong. But I guess
I think all of it went wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like Cutthroat Island had like a notoriously troubled production, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Renny was directing it.
Yeah, that usually does it.
Did you know why Gina Davis divorced Renny Harlin?
Because he's the dollar store James Cameron?
No, her divorce became final from him right after her personal secretary bore his child.
Oh. Okay.
All class.
Did she get paid for that? Was that in her job description?
Boning Renny?
Yeah.
And then bearing his child? I don't think it would have been.
Okay. All right. You never know with these wacky Hollywood types, you know?
Boy.
She did get overtime, though.
Like, that's Gina Davis's stipulation, is that you have to have sex with my husband so that I don't have to.
Right? Yeah.
I'd buy it.
I don't think so. I think that was a bad move. It was bad.
Okay. Was Deep Blue Sea a success?
Yes, it raked in $165 million against a reported 65, but actual $82 million budget.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. 100,099.
Yeah, apparently
the
fake sharks, the animatronic shark was the bulk of it, and Skarsgård, out of the corner of his eye, when he first came into the room with the animatronic shark, thought it was a real dead shark. So they did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Despite only using it for a combined 5 minutes of screen time.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
They CGI'd the rest of it, and it is aging poorly.
Yeah, boy, howdy.
It was terrible at the time. The last time I saw this was in the theater.
Oh.
And
wow.
I remember thinking it was like so bad that like when I saw like things like Python and things like that, I was like, it's just as good as Deep Blue Sea.
That's your bench.
Yeah, looks just the same. I'm like, why does the original Jurassic Park still look better than almost all of this stuff? It's weird.
We've been actually talking about Jurassic Park a lot lately. Surprisingly, I just watched another video about Jurassic Park. One thing that I also learned that they did, and this is total non sequitur, is they used the Stan Winston dummy model, the giant 2-story T-Rex, basically, and put it in places like where they would use it, then light the set so that they had the CGI people had a reference on how the lighting would look and shadows and all that when they had to do the compositing. So they had basically a model to work with so that they could, instead of just doing textures, they could do all of the, they had to hand draw all the shadows too, was the other thing. They didn't have ambient occlusion at this point in time. So they didn't have AI that could make shadows. They had to hand draw every single shadow, which is nuts to me. And they were really good, talented artists and very hard workers, Tucker. That's another thing.
The devil is in the detail.
Yeah.
That's the size of it.
Yeah.
So
these
detail on this was like,
so-and-sos they have nowadays.
Yeah, they're like, oh, the computers make it happen. Put the sharks in the computers. It'll be fine. I'm going to go find some unknocked up secretaries. Fix that little problem.
What about Saffron Burrows, Sam? Why and
what
how
about her?
And where did she go?
Who the hell is she?
Who is she?
Who is
she? She's in all sorts of shit. She's got an Amazon original. I looked at the movies. I'm like, yeah, you're in stuff. Who the fuck are you? Apparently, she's got a promiscuous personal life. Swings both ways.
Hey.
I don't know. I don't know who this person is. She's the underwear lady in Deep Blue Sea to me.
She's also in Starship Troopers.
No, that's Dina Meyer, honey. Nice try.
Oh.
Similar looking women.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Not the same person.
Oh, now I'm disappointed.
Good try. Dina Meyer has a much more prolific career that I could name. No, I can't. Can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Saffron Burrows was also in Troy.
Oh, she was
okay.
not Helen. She was
Helen's ugly friend.
Agamemnon's wife, wasn't she?
Something like that, yeah.
Or maybe Odysseus? I don't remember. I barely remember Troy.
That one's I watched it about 2 years ago to make sure I hated it, and it took me 3 fucking tries to get all the way through that goddamn thing.
Wow. I couldn't tell you.
Speaking of 500 things that, may have been left hanging in the 500 episodes, I haven't not reported what happens when I watch the rest of Exodus, Gods and Kings. I'm still at the same spot that we were 130 episodes. I have a hard time trying to put that into
Oh, man. It's a tall hurdle, I guess.
Good thing we
Yeah,
updated.
that's stuff.
All right. I guess you're done. We're ready to get into this bad boy.
2 whole facts. Way to go,
Got
Sam.
2 facts.
500th episode.
There was a ton of uninteresting stuff about this movie because it's just a Hollywood turd, right? The fact that Tom Jane was considered expendable to the point they're like, we're going to do a scene with you and a shark. Also, we're going to make sure that all your other stuff doesn't need callbacks because...
Maybe it was an act of mercy. They were like, oh, you had this. We saw so much promise in you in Boogie Nights, and then suddenly you just did Deep Blue Sea. Maybe you want to ride this shark and see what happens. Yeah, what do you got to lose at this point?
Did you guys? Speaking of boring bullshit, the LL Cool J does the song at the end,
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Shark Rap. Did you
Deepest,
listen?
bluest. I got it written down.
Because I've got a couple of things that I think I heard, but if you got this song, you should just roll with it right now because it's something.
I mean, I didn't. I just wrote down because the chorus was. I mean, the whole thing was ridiculous, but then it was like he was the shark. Like that's the narrator of the song was the shark,
Rapping shark.
and then yeah, and then the chorus was deepest, bluest. My hat is like a shark fin.
That's what I heard too. My hat is like a shark fin.
What the fuck is that?
So I feel like he is half man, half shark, but mostly man thinking he's a shark because at one
He's
point
just
he
wearing a
gets a
hat.
lap dance.
Okay.
And I don't
He has
know
a
if
lap.
sharks can get lap dances.
That's another question mark about sharks that we still haven't cleared up,
Yeah.
We go back and forth. Sharks getting lap dances. We're not real sure.
Everything you think just you don't know.
And there's like a sample. I don't know if it's a sample or if it's produced in with the song. It's. I think it's a guitar, but it just sounds like a cat meowing every once in a while. It's like meow. You're like, so there's shark lap dances and cats in this rap song. This is crazier than Cool Keith,
Right? Where are we at on LL Cool J? Everybody, do we have a consensus on how we feel?
I don't have much feeling about him one way or another, honestly.
He's about as high on my radar as Saffron Burrows.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought
Yeah.
at one point he was like a big sexy guy with these lips. And
His name is Ladies Love Cool James.
so he self-proclaimed himself a ladies' man.
That is correct.
Oh no. Well, the whole
But
Jesus thing is a real turn
But
off.
he's not Cool James. Did you say James?
I thought it was James.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not Cool James. He's Ladies Love Cool James.
Right.
Like that's just a weird name.
So who's Cool
Like,
James?
Who's Cool James?
Ladies Love Cool
He's
James.
a shark that gets lap dances.
And where's the shark fin hat?
My hat is like a shark's fin. What
I
is
wanted
that?
I was torn between the I Heart NYC and the shark fin hat, but I went with the shark fin hat. Okay,
I
all right.
knew
Let's,
somebody that worked with a radio station in one of their crap shit festivals he headlined.
Mhm.
And she said that when LL walked into the room, nothing but wet panties. Like, it's real.
okay.
Like, he's
Really?
the sex. Yeah. She said, like,
See,
every woman
'cause-
that worked at that radio station was like, LL sploosh.
Now, I'm not a lady that works at a radio station. I don't know, but I would say it does not translate to the screen, because I wasn't very impressed with his presence on screen, honestly. I was kind of like,
I will say
felt a little lacking to
that
me.
I was expecting Coolio in Dracula 2000, and I didn't get Coolio. He was better than Coolio in this movie. I don't know if that's much of a bar, but he was better than Coolio.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, it would have been better if he was worse, right?
No, Coolio was so bad.
Come on, guys. Bird carried him through this movie.
Yeah, he did have a good...
they couldn't even give the bird a name. It's just Bird.
Someone to bounce. You know,
right. The bird, yeah.
Their on-screen chemistry.
And the bird was up for sexiest actor in this movie because he had a whipped cream scene.
Yeah.
With his little weird bird tongue.
And a foul mouth.
I think they missed an opportunity to put LL in an eye patch when he had the bird. I think that was very missed.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
And a peg leg and a
really
hook.
missed out on that. Oh, well, the eye patch would have been good enough.
And then he could have used the hook in battle, and the peg leg, the shark bites his leg and he's like, ha ha, bitch.
Or he has the eye patch and you think that he's lost his eye, but he's he just takes it off because he was using it as a grease shield because he was cooking so hot.
Ah.
And then winks. That would be a Renny Harlin joke, I think.
It is.
How funny. He uses an eye patch as protection, not as because he only has one eye. I'm Renny Harlin.
Who wants to make a baby with me? Okay, let's do this, guys. We should have mentioned that if you would like to watch this, it's currently streaming for free on HBO Max, but you've probably seen it 1,000 times, and it's in every DVD bin that you can possibly get your hands on for probably about $5.
I think it's on Pluto, too. Is Pluto subscription?
No, Pluto's free, but I think you got to do ads and all that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't want to do the ads, so I actually just spent the $2.99 on Vudu because I was running behind.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I like how, all of us grew up with TV where you had to watch the ads, and now it's like, oh, fuck, ads.
Yeah, I struggle to do it. I struggle. Anyways, okay, here we go. So movie starts out, opens up on some buttholes on a yacht. I don't know how these kids get their yacht life that they got that we all think that we should get a look at, but we don't get to have yacht life. And so I think that these people should die.
I
hate them already.
We can't get there because we haven't taken the first step, which is that Kenny Loggins' Michael McDonald album. You have to put that on in vinyl, and then your yacht life works itself out.
It's more of a sailboat, I believe. But
I don't really know what the difference is.
Can we say even before we see the sailboat it's trying to evoke Jaws already, because the score's giving you this 2-note repetitious thing at the very beginning, which is okay, and the watery Warner Brothers logo and all that, and then you immediately get a POV shot underneath of the boat, which is totally evocative of Jaws.
Yeah,
and so already, and then they introduce all the douchebags on the sailboat. Yeah, they're great. I love them because the one guy says, the one couple comes over to the other couple, and the guy says to him, "We're having a party, man." That's the line. I think he knows. He's at the party.
Yeah, I've been here this whole time, Phil.
That's weird.
I mean, are you mental?
I was like, do I have the descriptive audio on? What's happening?
That's what we're misunderstanding is that Phil is a little touched per se, and that's his only thing that he ever really says is he just gets happy and he's like, "We're having a party, man." Goes to the movies, says that, eats a sandwich.
Well, now I feel like an asshole, Justin. Thanks.
Is he drinking a Diet Pepsi?
Yeah, right.
Or was it actually a beer?
I don't remember.
I think I wrote down Diet Pepsi. I don't think you are having a party. That's a Diet Pepsi.
All right, so
that's why he's trying to convince everyone.
The boat gets bumped. What the heck was that? Gary, did you do that? Was that your stomach again? And the wine gets knocked over, spilling into the ocean in its
Yeah.
icky, gooey, red, fluidy stuff that sharks love, right?
This shark is advanced,
Right,
though,
they
so
like-
he really likes wine.
Is that...
Yeah.
Was this just coincidence, or was Renny Harlin implying that the shark is going to be like, oh, it thinks it's blood? Ho, 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 ho.
No, this shark is a wino.
Yeah.
He's been raised
Sure.
on wine and cheese, and you can smell the cheese on the boat. It might just be the guy's balls, but we're not real sure. The shark is willing to take a chance, but then once the wine hits the water, the shark is sure that this is a party, man.
Yeah.
And he's got to get
He's
himself
like, "This is a
some
party, man,
Cabernet.
Or the shark actually likes good wine, and he's like, I'm going to kill these sangria drinking motherfuckers.
What is this, Charles Schwab? Spent all the money on the yacht, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so the shark comes up. It comes up through the middle, splitting the wood. That this thing is a weird. I don't know what this thing is because it's like a catamaran sailboat. There's two holes.
That's what it is.
Okay, I didn't know that that was a thing that existed, but okay. And so all
Did
of
you
them
notice
fall in the
the-
water.
Did you notice the really expensive, unnecessary shot from directly above the boat?
The chopper shot.
No, there's a shot that's a still, like they've got a camera locked on a mast or something, and it just shoots directly down from the just directly overhead that little sailboat. And I just looked at it and I was like, wow, that's not doing anything for this movie. And that setup had to take all day.
Yeah, right.
My favorite part about this is when they fall off the boat
Uh-huh.
and the guy headbutts his girlfriend
God.
off the boat.
Oh, yeah.
That was an accident that really happened. He like totally bonked her. That happened a lot apparently in this movie. We'll talk later when other things, but like when they'd let go of the water, shit got real because there was no way to really predict what was going to happen. And Renny was like, this is working good for the movie. So yeah, they slipped. He really bonked her head. No one liked it. Wasn't how it was supposed to go.
32 stitches later. Hey, who produced this? Alec Baldwin?
Boo.
Too soon.
Too soon? Okay. All right. Let me know when that isn't too soon. Because I've got a lot. I've got ammo.
They just came out with a new.
Too soon.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay. All right.
Boo.
So two are in the water. Get out! Climb! Pull me up! The shark's coming. About to chomp him, and then shoom, two harpoons hit it, and cut to Tom Jane's sweet, smoldery, cool guy looks.
He does a turn like the movie has been telling us. You're watching Jaws, and then Tom Jane turns to the camera after harpooning and stopping this shark like, "Grr, I can't get
Yeah,
these people."
how is that happening,
Yeah.
by the way? Like, how is that physically happening?
Yeah, so the shark's like, "Oh, I stopped an inch short of hitting this person," and Tom Jane turns to the camera and goes, "Fuck Jaws," with his icy cold good looks.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I also want to know how long he'd been creeping out,
Like,
just watching these people make out and having a party before he was like, the shark's probably going to get them. The
Yeah.
shark likes wine.
did you
I'll
teleport
just hang
there?
out here
Yeah.
in the dark. I'm going to turn off my boat lights and I'm just going to float and see what happens.
That's the only way it could happen.
He's being a creeper.
Yeah. He like
He's
his-
a night floating perv.
his sudden appearance doesn't work. There's no way he could be like cruising along in his jet boat, even if it's super fast, and like nobody hears him coming. Like, hey, do you hear something off in the distance? And then a shark attack happens. No, he has been sitting there waiting. I think he's even using them as bait. Like, this is the only way I'm going to get this shark.
So what do we call if he's not a peeping Tom, right? Because this is a water thing and he's not peeping in any windows. What is it called? What are we calling this?
Peeping SpongeBob?
It's a night floating perv.
Okay, I'm going to go with Tucker. That's a pretty good one.
The night floater?
The night floating perv.
Did you guys hear like way in the background of that moment when he turns to the camera, like after he gives his "fuck you, Jaws" look? Did you hear like deep in the soundtrack? You could hear Jaws say, "Now fuck you."
What did I do?
So I'm pretty sure it's there.
I'm pretty sure. Bruce is pissed. All right, so cut to a chopper landing on a high rise, and Saffron Burrows coming out. Her character's name is Dr. McAllister. I believe she's related to the McAllisters because she's also awful.
Yeah.
And she's getting yelled at because this shark that attacked the party otters escaped from her facility because she's conducting medical research on sharks. And the higher ups that finance this whole thing are like, hey, you let them escape again, right?
I don't know. I think this is an acceptable cost of business. I mean,
Shark escape?
well, if it's only one yacht and 4 idiots, right? So basically,
Right.
they hit a rock
Mhm.
and you just let it go as a accident.
Okay.
And you pay off the families a little bit, and you're fine.
So there's like a recall level, like where it's explained in Fight Club that like they're only going to issue a recall if enough people die. Like we have an acceptable collateral damage dollar amount that if we get to, then we say okay, shut it down, but we'll let some people die along the way.
I think this boat is a rental. It's insured.
See pharmaceutical companies.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Pharma bros.
I've seen this movie 5 or 6 times, so I didn't really stick to the dialogue all that hard. I was grabbing a Pepsi when this happened, and I was across the room still watching it, and I thought about backing it up, but I've seen it so many times I know what happens here. It was more fun to watch this without being able to hear what they're saying. And this is what I was able to discern from this scene, is that Saffron Burrows has a pouty face, and that Samuel L. Jackson looks at her and says, "Do I look like a man that has pouty faces work on him?"
Well, it does.
And that goes back and forth. It doesn't. No, I'm coming to the island, I guess. Because she was just going to be like, sweep it under the rug. Everything's fine.
Oh, yeah, she does
fine.
say that she's going to continue with her research with or without financing.
Was Ronnie Cox kind of a non-player in that
Ronnie
scene,
Cox
even
is
in
there!
your version?
Ronnie Cox is the point, too. They're like uncredited, or he's credited, so he got paid.
Mm-hmm.
I accuse that of being a shot from another movie that was left on the cutting room floor. It does not have quite the same lighting. I do not think Ronnie Cox is really in this movie.
Ooh.
I think that he got some kick down for like providing a stock shot. It's like, you know what?
Isn't there a wide shot of them sitting there together?
Is there? I only saw him in the one.
There
That's
is one
ridiculous.
shot where
You would
both of
bring
them in the
in-
room, yeah.
Why would you bring in Ronnie Cox and not give him a line?
Yeah, and I was just trying to remember, is this the only time he's in the movie?
The only time.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, really
So weird.
Especially in this scene, like if you've got pouty face versus guy who yells motherfucker, you can get some real snark out of Ronnie Cox. Like he could have worked in here.
Or don't bring him in at all and just do a Hitchcockian cameo. Put yourself in that role there, Renny.
Well, this is the 90s, and let's face it. There's no black guy in charge of a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, they had to have the white guy there just to arbitrate. Yeah, okay.
Yep, because nobody, it's not going to be believable. This is 1999.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
You wouldn't want people to walk out in this scene and be like, well, this movie is totally not realistic.
That's right. Got to put the white guy in there.
Was Ronnie Cox Senator Trent?
I think so.
Maybe that's why they brought him in.
Because
the blood bank. He's already been there.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. All right, so
I don't think it was Ronnie Cox. I think he's in a different movie.
Samuel L. His character's name is Russell. His last name, I couldn't be bothered with his first name. He's on board. He's like, okay, all right, you seem like an obstinate person that I should probably replace in this position because you're clearly going to be problems later. You have a problem with authority and following instructions. So I'm going to go check out your facility, see what you're up to down there. So he jumps on her plane.
Yeah.
Not only is she a biochemist, she's also a pilot.
She flies the plane. Like, okay, maybe a little much.
The guy from Jurassic Park didn't need a pilot either. Jurassic World.
Yeah, it's true.
He also crashed into a pterodactyl thing, so I don't know how great a pilot he was.
Yeah, they actually did need somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, so they fly down to this research facility. It's this big offshore, basically cage with a lab in it. There's 3 levels that go underneath the water. The sharks are penned in by titanium stretchy fences, and which I guess go all the way down to the seafloor. I'm not real sure. Also, we should mention that at the bottom of the seafloor is like what appears to be a Russian submarine. Doesn't even come into play ever in this movie, but it's there. And down at the very bottom is their med lab, where they can bring in a shark and do the research on it.
They've got a James Bond villain lair.
They do. Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
And we should also mention that during the flight, this is the first time we hear about Samuel L. Jackson's character, Russell, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Russell is a world explorer, and he saved some people from an avalanche.
Yeah.
This comes up like 15 million fucking times.
It does. Saved some people. Some of them got saved.
Some. That's what he says. Yeah. Not all of them. He says.
Some is the operative word. Okay, so
we got everybody out. It's just the 2 of them ended up in the toilet afterwards.
Can I say yeah? Can I say before I started this movie, I watched the trailer because like I said, I haven't seen it in 22 years, I guess. And what I remember is the Samuel L. Jackson part, where we'll talk about eventually. That's basically all I remembered. And I went to the description on HBO Max, and it was like Alzheimer's researcher, blah blah blah, human, sharks get smart, blah blah. And I was like, that's what this movie's about. I don't remember any of that.
He only remembers the Donner Pass deal.
I just remember the bad CGI and the Samuel L. Jackson scene.
I have seen this 5 or 6 times. It wasn't that long ago when we watched it for fun to make sure it was an episode. And I remembered nothing except Tom Jane was in it, and there was a lot of gratuitous LL Cool J. That's all I remember having seen it, and watching it again, I'm just like, okay, I forgot all of this shit happened.
Yeah, no kidding. I actually had a mistake on it as well that will burn at the end, but the person who survives at the end, I didn't think was the person who survives at the end. Anyways, so they're coming in. He lands. He's getting a tour of the outside of the facility, and he sees Carter in the water with a shark, Tom Jane. And he's like, hey, help that guy. That guy's in that water with them sharks. Get him. Somebody. And Tom Jane's like, I don't need anyone else. There it is again.
Is this the scene? The last scene?
The last scene.
That Sam's talking about where they...
Is this the final scene they shot?
I imagine. We're swimming with sharks.
I'm imagining this is... Which, when you see it, if this is it, that did not need to be Tom Jane.
No, it did not.
And a shark person. But they're probably like, he's like, what? There's no shark people that we can get to do this? And they all turn to him and go, shark people?
Yeah, and LL Cool J's over there like, my head is like a shark's fin.
I can do the scene.
I can do it. I'm like a shark person.
Just... Get some strippers. That shark will calm right down.
Oh my god. Okay, so he sees him. He's riding the shark, and he's like, "Whoa, that guy's cool." I wonder if he could have babies with Gina Davis's secretary, because that's what all the ladies are thinking too. That man rides a shark.
Well, and I think this is supposed to be like the ladies' sex appeal thing, right? Like, you want this man. He can tear a license plate out of a shark's mouth with a fucked up grill.
Yeah. That's what women look for. right?
That was the same license plate from Jaws, or made to look as if it was the same license plate from Jaws.
Oh, another fuck you Jaws moment.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah,
That's two sharks ate the same license plate?
what are the odds?
What are the odds? It's insane.
Stop dumping your trash in the ocean, you buttholes.
The dead shark, the shark wasn't even alive to be like, dude, you gotta try this. I mean, what are the odds?
They recovered the license plate and bring it back to the original owner, and the original owner is like, "Oh, cool, thanks," and then just chucks it back into the ocean. I don't need this. Like, I haven't owned that car in 30 years.
Can't get rid of
Sharks
this.
love
It's like a
license
Ouija
plates,
board.
Okay, so he gets out and he throws some shade at Russell, like, "Oh, rich guy's here, huh? Well, I'm a tough guy and you're a rich guy, and we aren't supposed to get along because, yeah."
I don't care that you rescued those people.
Exactly.
Rescued.
Yeah.
So he meets the rest of the crew and gets a tour of the place, and
Everybody's leaving, though.
everybody's leaving. There's like 20 people on this facility on a normal given day, but they're all leaving the day before their biggest research test.
It's the freaking weekend.
Yeah, because they've really played fast and loose with the rules here, and they're like, we're getting everybody that works here off so we can bring this shark that is a abomination in and do things that are completely illegal.
Everybody get out of here. We're about to do the thing that we brought you all here to do.
Except for Jimmy. He was just shark food.
Well,
They didn't need him that week.
he still has a job. Like, this is the culmination of all their research, is extracting some goop out of the shark and testing it to see if it will help with brain decay. And everybody leaves.
Yeah, but this is the part, though, that we get introduced to Soprano. Sister Soprano.
Sister Soprano.
Yeah. Janice
Soprano.
Janice Soprano.
That's what I said. I was
Yeah.
like, that's Tony Soprano's sister.
Yep.
It's Ada Turturro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's Tony Soprano's sister on The Sopranos.
Like, Turturro, like, related?
I don't know if there's a relation. Do you know, Sam?
We'll find out right now.
That would be cool.
And she's just pretty much playing Janice from The Sopranos.
Little Joan John, little Virginia Michael, you know, little Hollywood brother sister type thing. I like those.
Mm-hmm.
Does not appear that they are related.
God damn it.
Wow.
Huh. All right. Well, that's no fun.
Well, she's got great sense of music, and she's blaring it over the radio as everybody's getting the fuck off.
Yeah, and so everybody leaves. We get introduced to LL Cool J, the cook / preacher / rapper. And then it's feeding time, which I think is cannibalism. They feed a shark to the sharks, right?
Yeah, it's fun that Renny was like, we tried to do the science, but science failed us. Whereas in the writing, they're like, these sharks only eat other sharks, and that doesn't make one bit of dietary sense for how a shark's metabolism works. They need to eat things that have a lot of fatty matter.
Right? So, yeah, okay. So they eat this shark up, and they eat it pretty good. It's very piranha-esque. Like, they lots of biting and chomping, little bites, tiny bites. Chomp, 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 chomp.
Well, what the best part about this, though, is that, license plate guy who got the license plate out, that's the same shark. So he pretty much just went in there and ripped out the license plate so the shark could die like 5 minutes later.
No, I think it's a different shark, because that was the Gen 1 or something, and then they're bringing in other sharks that are food. It doesn't make any sense. They seem like they'd be too hard to catch.
Yeah, just...
Let's not miss the most important part of this moment is, holy shit, it looks dumb.
Yeah, it looks real dumb.
Also, I'm
so bad.
Nope, I'm hung up on it. They're like, it only eats other sharks. They'll eat a cow when they get hungry. You're letting these sharks be a little too picky eaters.
Remember when they lowered that
I
cow?
only eat sharks.
Remember when they lowered that cow into the velociraptor pen? That was a cow, not another velociraptor. You know?
Exactly.
Go buy a tuna. You can buy fish at a market. They're actually called fish markets. I don't think that they sell whole sharks. And also, sharks are hard to catch.
Yeah.
Just get a big fish.
Just toss a cow in there. They'll eat it. Trust me.
Morons. The idiot plot hasn't even fired up. And Sam, you've stumbled upon it. We're already in the idiot plot.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pre-idiot plot. I've never seen a movie do
Proto-idiot
that.
plot.
Proto-idiot. Okay, so that goes well, I guess. And Dr. McAllister, she gets called out of bed, like, Dr. McAllister, you need it out where the sharks live. And so she's like, oh, really? I was having such a nice sleep. And she gets out and she's all by herself and there's dramatic music and then lights click on. Happy birthday.
And right before this, right, when she's like, they're making it all dramatic, like she's going to get eaten. I'm like, I bet this is a surprise birthday party. And sure as shit.
So,
Whoa.
again.
You guessed it right, even though we watched this 2 years ago.
Right.
I don't remember this movie from
Bam.
2 years ago.
Shots fired. Wow.
Wow, what a butthole.
I mean,
500 episodes later, he's still a little asswipe.
I'm not being an asshole to you. I'm being an asshole to this movie. We have established it is not memorable.
It's forgettable.
Russell shows up on a Friday when everybody's leaving. The head of the research facility's birthday is on Saturday, and their biggest test, the whole reason why this research facility exists, is on Sunday, and on Friday, everybody goes home.
Yep.
Okay.
Nobody likes her.
I don't think anybody likes her.
Nobody was going to sign the card, so they were like, yeah, just go.
My sister's got a thing. I gotta go home. Like, dumb.
It's Aloha Friday. Fuck it.
Yep, we're out of here. All right, so it's not a real fun party. Everybody kind of just stands around and flexes at each other like, you're a dickhead. No, you're a dickhead.
That's because, but no one ever says, we're having a party, man. And so no one knows what to do.
There was some dancing. The Janice character is dancing with a person who appears in this scene dancing that I don't really think is in this movie. I don't see that person in the Hawaiian shirt before or ever again this dancing thing that happens.
You notice that there's no wine at this party either because that wino shark is down there now and they're like, oh no.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
You gotta
Yeah.
stay sober for your operation on Sunday.
No, you can drink other things, just not the wine because if it gets the scent of the wine, it'll get up and eat people.
Or it'll
Well, they're
just
so
party
picky.
down.
That's why it was killing those kids for the cheap wine. As long as it's like a bottle of 62 Chateau Noir, it'll be fine.
Oh. But they just have like barrels of cheap wine to chum the ocean to bring in the food.
Yeah. I'm gonna catch a shark. What's the bait? Ernest and Julio Gallo.
Yeah, Vic Morrow had Quint had no idea what he was talking about when he was like, you look at a shark's eye, it's a dead eye, it looks like a doll's eye. It's because the shark is hammered on wine, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sharks chase him because he's so drunk they can smell it on him.
Well, there's a storm a brewing, of course. In all these movies, there has to be a storm a brewing.
Storm.
I guess it's a tropical storm. It's not a hurricane or anything. They at least didn't toss in a hurricane in this movie, but it's on its way. And Janice sees it and she's like, oh, that seems important. Goodbye. Doesn't say anything to anybody about it.
No, she does because they go and they turn off like the propane and like they start batting down the hatches. Like they raise the gates up because there's going to be swelling.
No, he raised the gates, the fence up because Tom Jane thinks the sharks are jumping over the fence. That's how that one got out.
Free Willy! He's standing underneath the shark as it jumps over him. The shark's like, fuck you! They're chumming the water, so I gotta go get mine.
Here's a bad joke that no one's going to get. The shark jumps over the guy and is like, "Take that, Fonzarelli." It's gonna be first. That's the first of at least 2 jump the shark jokes.
In Russia, shark jumps you. I can't do this anymore. I'm hurting. My stomach hurts. We made it to $4.99 and a half, guys. I gotta shut this one down. All right, so yeah, water visibility is at 0, and I guess we're on Sunday now. Like it's time to do the test. Is that the day we're on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's Saturday.
Okay.
And what happens to the end is like, no, you're right. It has to be Sunday because of how the timeline works out. So yeah, they got so hammered at that party they slept through Saturday.
It's now Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, so Carter goes in.
This movie sucks.
He can't.
Just in case the listeners forgot.
Carter goes in, and I guess his job is like to guide the shark into. What's he doing down there?
He's got a bottle of wine, he's uncorking it, and he's making a trail to the shark catching machine.
He's in like a tube, like a fence tube that only he can be in. Does that fence tube lead into the research facility, or is the point that he has to get in the water at some point and manually swim a shark into the shark holder bay?
The latter is the plan, and that's what is executed.
That seems like a bad plan.
It is.
It's not just that Tom Jane's expendable. Carter is expendable. Like,
oh yeah,
this whole yeah,
like
everything a bad plan in this movie.
So if you put a listing on Indeed for shark handler, the applicants that you get will not actually be shark handlers,
right?
Because there aren't any.
They're usually ex-cons just trying to, meet the terms of their parole and not ruffle any feathers. You know what I mean?
That's what you look for when you need a guy that is a shark guider. Pusher of sharks. Shark aligner.
Yeah. Shark wrangler.
Yeah. Okay, so what he does...
You know why?
Huh?
Oh, go ahead. I'll save this one.
What he does is he goes in the water, and the shark's coming after him, and he thinks he's got him. Oh, but he's more of a clever girl than the shark is a clever girl, because he uses his scuba gear, I guess, to be like, "I'm over here, shark," but really he's over there, and the shark is like, "Ha ha ha, gotcha," and he's like, "No, you don't. I'm on you. Let's go over here."
Where's the other shark?
The other 2 sharks. There's 3 sharks in
I think
total.
the one shark, they have two pens or whatever. The version 1 is by itself in the one pen, and then the other 2 are in the other pen, I guess.
Okay.
Either way, there is a shark at large while he's pulling his funny business on the one shark, and they've been seen pack hunting already and commented on pack hunting.
Yeah, they even take out the cameras.
Yeah.
What is that other shark doing?
Yeah. You can't get away with that in a post-clever girl world,
Yeah. I don't know.
He's drinking.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay.
He put some wine out.
The shark's getting drunk.
Getting a lap dance from a moray
probably,
eel.
Yeah.
What
They got
happened
him
to the
into the
other
VIP
shark?
room to distract him.
Yeah, he's like, I opened
Bottle
a bottle.
service, sir?
Yeah. I kept the other shark away from me by opening a bottle of $7 Moscato. It's like a sandworm thumper for sharks.
So they bring the shark into the lab, and the doc puts her syringe mount on it, which I guess is secured by airlock, because when she clamps it down, it makes an airlock sound.
Everything's pneumatic. It's very reliable.
Okay. And she injects the shark. She puts her little needle through its little melon and down into its nerve centers and extracts the goop. And
Wait, we got to stop and talk about how this works.
Okay.
They bring like a super ultrasound on the shark, and they take an ultrasound of it, and they get a picture of it, and they take that off, and then this thing gets pneumatically attached to its head, and she's doing live imaging from the still picture that they took.
Yeah, what the hell?
It doesn't work.
No.
Follow the science, Sam.
They also have the shark secured with one cargo strap.
with tie downs.
And Thomas Jane's loving, tender caresses.
Yeah. They're doing more than the cargo strap.
Hey, hand me another bungee. Its tail's getting a little wild. Anybody got any shipping tape? I mean, this... Okay, so I think we're past proto idiot plot, and we're about to go full on idiot plot right here. This is where the movie starts, because what they do is they pull the goop out and they immediately start testing the goop while leaving the shark just hanging out. Like, all they had to do was hit they're done with the shark. They don't need got its goop.
Yeah.
Get that shark back in the water. Movie doesn't happen.
Yep.
But no, they're like spiking the freaking football. Like, yeah, A, we got the goop. B, let's start playing with it.
It's because they're all, it's all hubris. This is where Samuel L. Jackson says, he's like watching it all happen. He goes, what in God's creation and Stelly Scars is all not his, ours.
Stilly Scar.
Yeah, Stelly Scars.
He looks visibly upset that he's having to act with all these people except for Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
Just go over there. I don't like you.
Yeah.
Is that Billy Skarsgård's dad?
Billy Skarsgård.
Mm-hmm.
Billy
It is.
Skarsgård.
Mhm.
You know, the guy from True Blood.
No. I
Yeah.
don't watch that show.
Is he in True Blood?
I know.
His son's an actor for sure.
I know Rip
He's in a bunch of stuff.
Rip
Is it
Van
Billy?
Skarsgård.
The really, like,
Rip Van Skarsgård?
Yeah.
shut up. He's like this really buff blonde guy. I think he played Tarzan too.
Yeah. That's Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh, is that his son?
No,
Alexander
I think they're cousins.
Skarsgård.
I think they're cousins.
No, I'm gonna look.
I don't think any of the Skarsgårds are mommy daddies.
She is right. Bill Skarsgård and Alexander Skarsgård and Gustav Skarsgård are his children,
Are the son of
Okay.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, Stelly
Yep.
Scars.
Huh.
as well as, oh my God, this guy is a breeder. Sam Skarsgård, Walter Skarsgård,
Walter.
Jesus.
Aja Skarsgård, and young twins,
Wow.
Colborn and Ossian.
That's
He is,
8?
Jesus.
Wow.
yeah, he's got 8 kids.
Damn.
Wow.
And he's no spring
Well, he's
chicken.
no Eddie Murphy.
How many does Eddie Murphy have?
10.
that he knows
Whoa.
of.
We don't know how many kids Renny Harlin has.
That's true. How many assistants has Gina Davis had?
Oh.
That's the real question.
Okay. All right. So back to the movie. They're testing the goop. They're spiking the football. They're giving high fives. Tom Jane is like, shark, still here.
Yeah.
Tranks don't last forever, I hope you know. And they're like, we got high fives. High fives.
Well, why doesn't he have an emergency trank with him?
Right? Or just like an
Yeah.
IV, a drip bag.
Just no forethought put into any of
None.
this.
It's just like, well, fuck him. He's an ex-con. If he gets his leg bit off while we're trying to high five, fuck him.
The pneumatic system takes up a lot of space, and they didn't have room for anything else.
Right?
Except for that bucket that they've got him with.
Yeah, to keep
Yeah.
it liquefied or wet. All right, so Stellan, I don't know what his character's name is. In my notes, I just have him as Dr. PP.
Stelly Scars. That's what I call
Dr.
him.
Stelly Scars.
It's Jim Whitlock.
Jim Whitlock.
Jim Whitlock.
I like that.
Dr. Whitlock.
And he's like, well, we did a pretty good job today, guys. I'm just going to smoke a cigarette while I'm standing next to this shark.
And the shark does not like smoking. Shark immediately wakes up, no smoking, and grabs his arm and bites it off.
Yeah.
Here we go. Buckle up.
Yeah. It's real judgy about it, that
I
shark.
know, right? You think with all the wine drrinks, it would enjoy an occasional cigarette or a cigar.
Maybe, who's to say
Sure.
it did eat the cigarette.
Oh, maybe it just wanted one. It needed one.
Yeah.
It woke up, was like, fuck, give me that.
This is what happens when Carl Reiner becomes a shark.
Well, sure, I'd love to have a puff. Oh, wait, the only thing I have to hold things with is giant teeth. Sorry, it's all a misunderstanding again.
Oops.
Yeah. He's like, I'll smoke that. I need to borrow your arm, though. I don't have any.
Yeah. And Stelly Scars is so loud, screaming and crying that you can't hear the shark apologize.
Oops. Not again.
Damn it, I did that again. That's on me, guys. That's on me.
Okay, so he's flopping around. They finally get the shark back in the water. Tom Jane, instead of hitting the emergency switch, goes for the shotgun. I'm gonna pop this thing. I mean, he just hit the button, guy.
And he doesn't open the door to the
God.
shotgun. He gets it with his elbow and then reaches in there like, I don't care. I'm just going to cut up my arm so that maybe the shark likes me too.
Yeah.
It seems like he hid it behind some like first aid kits too. The shotgun is not readily accessible. Like he hid it there on purpose. He's like, where'd that come from? He's like, this is my shark fixing gun. I hid it back there.
And it seems so weird to me that he'd want to shoot it. Like, just as a character thing. Like, why doesn't he want to just let it back in the water?
It
It doesn't make sense to me.
He's realized that this shark is pure evil. It's an
Pure
abomination.
evil,
It
'cause
must be
it's-
killed.
Because it's part human now.
Because it ate a guy's arm. The most normal thing these sharks do in this entire movie is eat meat. And Tom Jane is like, well, that's it. I was friends with this shark. We were shark riding earlier. I was like swimming with the dolphins, but instead it's sharks because these are my bros. But that's a line I will not stand for.
A shark that smokes.
Yeah.
Time to die. Yeah. Okay.
A shark that smokes.
All right. So the med chopper's inbound. They've got the Coast Guard on their way.
Look out, it's a smoker! That's what that scene was.
Yeah. This shark has got bad habits.
Shotgun!
Kill it. It's going to start selling to your kids. Pushing cigarettes to other sharks. Then they'll get cancer and our whole science bullshit will have done for nothing.
Okay, so the med chopper's inbound to pick up Stelly Scars. It's Coast Guard.
That
I
looks
think.
terrible too. Just the water and the storm and the helicopter all look fucking
It's
awful.
real bad.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Like just so bad, like sub sci-fi channel CGI.
I couldn't come up with a good insult for it when I was taking my notes. And what ended up on the paper was Coast Guard, more like Toast Guard.
Yeah,
I,
it's pretty good.
I don't want
I like-
that.
I like-
Do not like.
Could you imagine, though, if there was a Toast Guard? What kind of job that would be?
I'd have called him a couple times, tell you that much. Ah, shit, calling the Toast Guard.
Okay. All right. So they show up finally. The sea's very rough. They bring Stelly Scars out on a gurney and get him hooked up.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
They get him hooked up and they start reeling him in. They've got him on a winch and everybody goes back into the facility. They all almost get blown off the catwalk or whatever by the sea itself.
Yep. This is an accident, too. They didn't really know how this was going to work. It wasn't supposed to wash all of these people away. Samuel L. Jackson was like, we were on there, a bunch of water came, everybody thought we were going into the drink. It was a bad deal.
Okay.
Of course he left it in. That's what the finishing of his comment
Got
was.
the shot. So they're winching him up, and the winch jams because
This
of
winch,
the storm.
this is a bad winch, or it's just behaving, it's breaking the laws of winch physics.
I don't know what happens here. It starts shooting out sparks and going, like, guys, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty vital piece of your whole toast guard operation.
Yeah.
They didn't really plan for the weight of things that weren't toast.
That's right.
So eventually, it
They
snaps,
do drop him in the water like a tea bag.
right?
Instead of pulling up.
Glub.
It's like let him steep.
And that he's under there and he's like glub glub glub. And then the chopper, the line gets pulled. Oh, the shark's got him, and it pulls the entire chopper into the air tower, exploding the chopper. It's the slowest explosion that's ever existed. You get a shot of every person going, "Oh no!" as the fire's reaching their face, and then Janice upstairs is like, "Oh no!" and then she gets exploded to hilarity. And the whole facility starts shaking and everything gets blown up.
Well, and my thought was they
It
still have the
blows up.
seaplane, but then, like, from the air tower, like it just has a projectile that comes directly out and smashes the plane.
like Angry Birds. Like just one barrel goes, pew, and blows up the only thing.
You're not escaping now.
This thing, they have an overhead shot of it exploding, and it's a huge explosion. Nobody made it. Everyone's dead. The sharks are dead.
Yeah, the sharks are dead.
Yeah.
It's all done. Okay.
It's all the wine that they keep up there.
That's what ignited.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So now they don't have any way of escaping. Their plane is blown up. Their comms are out. All of the things that are necessary for this movie to happen gets exploded. And then they're like, "Whoa, what just happened? Janice, are you okay?" "No, Janice is dead." "Wait, what's that out in the water?"
Oh my god.
The funniest thing that could possibly happen is out in the water.
It's so good.
Just Stelly Scars comes floating in and hits the
He's on his
window like a
stretcher.
freaking bug on a windshield.
The shark,
And does he have a diving mask on?
yeah, he's got
So
like
he
a
can
respirator that's working as if it's a diving mask, and he's like, "I'm
Yeah.
sorry."
He's like looking through the window.
I'm sorry
so
that I've been
funny.
used as a shark battering ram. The shark spits him out faster, too. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it does
The
not.
shark,
Yeah.
hurls him. It doesn't make any sense.
And they're like,
It's like every possible thing that happens in this movie is stupid.
Well, what happens next is incredibly stupid because they're looking at him and they're like, "Yep, we're all going to die. Let's stand here longer."
"Goodbye."
It's crazy. How long?
"Oh, you're just right there. If we could only reach out and touch you." Well, I mean, you're going to have the chance. He's coming in.
Yeah, he'll be right in. Hang tight, I'll be right there.
Yeah, so it shatters.
Also,
Ocean comes in.
who made this glass?
Oh, no kidding. It's not man-proof.
The guy on a gurney
They didn't
broke
do
it.
the Stelly Scars gurney stress test.
It wasn't part of the gurney that hit the glass. It was like his
His
dome.
face. Yeah. Yeah, the crack starts at his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His head doesn't
It also
shatter.
doesn't
the
knock
glass
him
does.
out.
No, it's just like, oh no.
Sorry.
And so it
And then
shatters.
that they
yeah.
outrun the water.
They
Once
do.
it shatters,
Uh-huh.
It's insane.
There's lots of outrunning water in this movie.
A lot.
Yeah.
Listen, I stopped it at 40 minutes and was like, okay, like so far, this is a fast-paced, fun, B movie that has zero suspense and really bad CGI. Okay, this is all right. By an hour, 14 minutes, I was like, this is almost over, right?
Yeah.
There's still like a half hour.
Yeah, so we'll gloss over a little bit because there's lots of them getting chased by water right here. But they do hatch a plan, this group, to get to the submarine on the other side of the facility. And meanwhile, Preacher is in his kitchen and it's starting to get flooded. So he's getting chased by water as well. And I think that's where we'll go to him because he gets chased into his kitchen by smart sharks because they're in the facility now. They've busted in through, I guess, not just through Stelly Scar's entryway, but also like upstairs. Because
I don't know.
Level 3, where the med bay is at the bottom. But LL's up at the top. He's on level 1, and there's sharks chasing him.
He's in level 2. He's in level 2. No one's in level 1.
No, because the first time you see him walking around where he finds the water, there is literally written on the wall, level 1A.
So he goes down to level 2?
I don't know.
Yeah, because it's the only one that's not flooded.
Which doesn't make sense, because when they're going up the stairs from the med bay, they reach a door and they say, can't go through that one, it's flooded, which implies that all 3 levels are now flooded. Right. They've all drowned.
The whole thing blew up about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. I don't think any of them are alive.
None of this is actually happening. This is a ghost story from here on out.
These sharks are so hell-bent for blood that they're eating their ghosts. We also missed the part where they boringly talked about how they've broken all the rules of science, and the one Janice character just turns like a sore thumb to Saffron Burrows and goes, "You bitch."
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie starts happening again. You're like, not a good take.
Nope.
Doesn't fit.
Oh, man.
And that's the one with the short blonde hair, right?
Yeah.
So that's not Janice' character.
No, her name was Janice.
No, her name is Janice in the movie?
In the movie is actually Janice.
Oh, well, that's a Janice move.
How confusing.
She was...
Whereas Janice from The Sopranos' name is Brenda.
Brenda. All right.
I think she was, I think her character's name was Switch in The Matrix. Same actress, Janice was.
I think so, yeah. They did a lot to make her less attractive because she was probably just as attractive as Saffron Burrows, and that's not supposed to happen in the way the movie works.
Interesting take. So they're moving.
She's acting like she's bunking the doctor.
Yeah, but she loves him.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Preacher. He's in his kitchen. He's getting chased by sharks.
Yeah.
He climbs up this food shelf to get out of the water, and up at the top is his bird. And the bird scares him, and he almost falls all the way off. But the bird lands in a pot, and he's like, "Come here, birdie, come here. I'll get you." And he's reaching for it, like he's Jason
leaning
Lee
off the shelf,
reaching for a cigarette while he's on the shitter with the shit weasels and Dreamcatcher. And then the shark comes up and chomps the bird, and it's awesome.
And he loved that bird so much that he named it Bird.
His full weight is leaning off of a shelf that is not attached to anything, as we see in a moment when it falls over.
True.
He's leaning his entire weight trying to reach for this bird. And I'm like, why isn't that shelf falling? Oh, it must be built in or something. And then it's totally not. It's just a shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It falls
collapses.
over.
because of the shark.
Also, I
don't
loved
know.
when the shark was coming through the kitchen. He grabs a frying pan.
Right? For self-defense.
He's going to defend himself. Yeah, it was awesome.
That needed to pay off. I needed to see him
did.
bonk that shark with a frying pan, and it did not happen.
Yeah.
And the shark to get one of those cartoon lumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the bird could fly around its head.
Oh, yeah. Tweet, tweet, tweet.
And then it,
No,
then
it'd be
it would
like,
eat it.
fuck you, or whatever it does.
So Preacher
Or
falls
the
into the
shark
water.
doesn't have.
Preacher falls into the water, and he is getting chased by the shark, and he climbs into his oven just in the nick of time. Shark's trying to smash its way in through the oven. It manages to turn on the oven and set a timer and preheat. Okay.
Jesus.
So he's getting cooked in there. Little LL turkey.
So stupid.
But he has...
And then he uses like a hatchet to make a hole in the top. Like, how does he have space in there to get enough leverage to get a fucking hole in that? And then
It's like the bride punching her way out of her own coffin.
it'd be infuriating if it wasn't so stupid.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the other group, they have gotten to the submarine. It's all smashed up. I don't know if it was the explosion. I don't know if it was the sharks. Who knows? So the only way that they're going to get out of there is they got to swim. So they're debating that and calling each other assholes and stuff. Back with Preacher, he's gotten through to the top and does a dive over the shark.
He jumps the shark.
He jumps the shark.
Yeah.
Eat shit, Fonzarelli.
Yep.
Times 2.
Times 2. And then he's like, you killed my bird. And hucks a lighter at the shark, exploding it.
And himself.
And himself.
And the whole thing.
Take 2. Whatever was left has also been exploded. I love that. You killed my bird. Die.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, back at the rest of the group, they're infighting. They've got another way that they could get out, but it might collapse the whole thing because it depressurized the submarine. What are those things called? When you got a water entryway.
The water on the bottom.
Yeah.
A sub pump?
No, it's not. Definitely not a
It's
pump.
just a pressurized cabin thing that the
Yeah,
sub
but
can
that
go down.
hole is actually called something. It's like the
I think it's called a wet hole.
wet.
It's better known as a vagina.
Yes. Just going down to the wet hole. Gotta go.
How's the hole today? Is it getting pretty wet?
It's pretty wet down there.
Yeah, it's about as wet as it gets, actually.
It's
I tried, but I can't get it any wetter.
I put more water in it, and it just looked like the water that was already in it.
Well, did you try doing more water?
I did.
It
I
doesn't
did.
work. Ran out of buckets.
Well, we're going to have to get some more water down there because I need to know if it can get wetter. Stop this Alzheimer's research. We got to see if we can get that wet hole to be real wet.
The only way we can do it is to ruin the pressure in here. Just let it come in.
Which
Just
is
let
what they're
the hole
arguing
flood
about.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
what they're arguing about. And they're like, you don't get to decide. No, you don't get to decide. You'll kill us all. And then Samuel L's like, now hold on. You
Yeah.
Ezekiel 21:10. And he explains, so the thing is, guys, when we were up on that mountain, and we were facing death, it was getting chilly outside, and we were starting to strip our clothes off and hug each other with our nude flesh. And Gary got a little hard, but that's okay because I did too. It's just natural. Doesn't mean you're homosexual or nothing like that. It's just a boner when you got another man's boner protruding up against your bottom. It's a very common thing to get, because of the cold and the. Oh yeah, okay. I'll move on. So what happened was we started infighting
But
up there.
after that,
But after Gary's and my boners, they didn't make us homosexual. we ate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I turned Gary into poop.
So this is a fun speech.
He tastes like chicken.
Yeah. He's giving a great motivational speech.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that there's actors out there that use this for auditions.
Oh, that would be
Do this as their
fantastic.
monologue.
I'm sure that there's actors that use a lot of Samuel L. material as their monologue, but this should, like, oh, great, here comes another. Oh, you're choosing that one? Well, how refreshing. Yeah. Because it is wonderful. It's the throw yourself and believe in the football speech of the whole movie. It's him telling Rudy he can do it if he just believes in himself. And they're all looking at him like, what a leader. I mean, we are so glad that we've got this guy, because if anybody's going to get us out of this situation, it's going to be, oh my God, he got ate by a shark. Whoa.
Apparently he'd been hitting the bottle in between things when nobody was looking. And the shark's like, is that Cabernet I smell? Came up through the hole.
And I think
there's only 2 of the 4 who seem horrified by the fact that he was eaten by the shark. Saffron Burrows and Tom Jane character like, okay, good, that happened. Yeah. We can go back to working on this door thing.
Do not care. I think that this is the best on-screen movie death that has ever existed. I cannot think of a more epic on-screen movie. They all fall short to me of this one.
And what's interesting is that it's the context of it that sells it, because the effect is so bad.
It's terrible.
Like, it looks so stupid, but it overcomes it by being so hilarious.
This is the shit version of Willem Dafoe in Platoon.
It is. It is. And Willem Dafoe didn't get eaten by napalm that looks really bad. Samuel L. gets eaten by a shark and it looks awful. And it
looks so bad.
His body,
so bad.
Just his CGI body gets spaghettified. Like, he gets really thin and long because it's not an actual man. It's a computer graphic and they fucked it up.
Yeah. And they wanted to keep his face on there, but there was too much movement to actually have his face. So that the model of his head is just that last take, the last frame that he's in, it just freezes that. So as the shark's like shaking and chopping him, he's just got frozen face. He's like, still this doesn't bother me.
He's like, his speech wasn't done. He had a mic drop moment at the end of that. And he was just about to give the mic drop. And so that's where his face is. He's still like, oh, it's coming. These people are going to be blown away when I say what I'm going to say. Perma face.
Yeah, it's like just like right before the motherfucker,
right?
Like, it's coming right there.
And my name is the Lord. And I love Scoggins, his character. What's that actor's name? I always forget his name.
Michael Rappaport. I've been keeping track of this. That we are now at an hour 18 of the podcast. We're close after editing. And we haven't mentioned that Michael Rappaport has been freelancing all over this goddamn thing.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I thought about it a couple times. I hadn't brought him up yet. I was wondering. He has I did it too. I had the same looking goatee back then, probably. And I don't know if it's just him or what, but it's not a good look.
No.
I love his line though, because he just looks at the ground. He's like, it just ate him. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So they decide to go up the emergency shaft. And guess what? Yeah, he was right. It does depressurize the whole thing, which they said that if he opened that door and it depressurized, that it would collapse the entire facility, which is then not what happens. It just gets flooded.
No. Well, the facility seems to be sitting on the sea floor.
Yeah, I guess it's sunk all the way.
So it's already collapsed as it's going to get. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Next to the submarine.
Throughout viewing this film as many times as I have, I'm still not convinced what Michael Rappaport's character's job is. Is he like the head janitor or is he an engineer? He knows a lot about everything, but doesn't seem to actually have a job.
Right? I don't know what he does. What do you do?
Building maintenance.
Yeah, which is a janitor. Yeah. Okay. So they managed to shut the door down, which, again, there's lots of men versus the entire force of the ocean closing doors.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. You can't do it. But they managed to. And so they're climbing up the shaft of this escape hatch. The roof is on fire. I didn't mean to do that. It's just in my notes. And then when I said it out loud, I was like, wow, I said it. Huh. And so they start to...
the roof?
Yeah, the roof, it's on fire.
The roof?
The roof is on fire.
It's on fire. The sharks managed to
and
get in.
they don't need no water.
They've got plenty of it.
They're letting the motherfucker burn.
It's coming.
Water everywhere, and the roof is on fire.
It turns out the wet hole can get wetter.
It can.
It did need more water.
Okay, so the sharks get into the shaft, and the water's coming up, and they're like, oh, God, we gotta hurry, but the roof is on fire, so they can't go up that way. And so Tom Jane's like, I gotta divert these sharks. So he goes down, jams a knife in a door, pries it open, thus equalizing something, the water level. Yeah. And the sharks can go on to that floor, and they can keep going up.
Anybody ever worry that the sharks were going to get stuck in the tight hallways? I was worried about that.
Help.
Yeah.
Hey guys, a little snug in here.
Anybody bring any butter? Shark butter?
Where's that guy that can, like, swim me around?
Uh-oh. Dead end. Dead end. There's no uh-oh.
All right, so he opens that up, and as that takes place, the ladder breaks that they're on because the whole assembly of the building is buckling, and it falls over and gets wedged up against the other wall, causing Janice to fall in the water, and she doesn't want to die. The sharks are taking their sweet-ass time with her, even though it appears that they're just at, like, the top of the water before.
Mm-hmm.
But they eat her right in the crotch.
No, it's hilarious because she's like, reach me, and Tom Jane's pulling down. He's almost got her, and if he just had like another couple inches, he could grab her. And the shark is like, here she is. Let me help.
Yeah, it brings her right up.
It's hilarious.
This is the Shark 5. Because they slap hands a couple times when she's in the shark's mouth. And the shark's like, oh, you can't reach? Here's your high five opportunity. And they get two of them in there.
Yeah, he, again, was just giving her a hand, but because he's a shark and doesn't actually have hands, he's just got teeth. She got stuck. Like, he wasn't eating her.
He was like, oh, I want to do that. And he comes up with her, and he's like, up top. He comes out, he says that, up top. Gets good. High five. Again, there's a lot of extra like noise going on and score and stuff. It's hard to hear it.
Yeah, the shark is thinking, okay, so we've had shark jumps man jumps shark. Let's do man and shark jump together.
Yeah.
You know? It's a pretty friendly shark, honestly.
Yeah.
So she goes down, glub. She's in Davy Jones' tummy. Preacher appears at the door above them, and they all climb out. He helps them out. So now they hatch a plan to drain the stairwell, the first floor, with their pumps, but they need to restart the generator so that Samuel L. Jackson can say, hold on to your butts one more time in a movie where people get eaten by animals. But he doesn't because he's dead.
Right.
So the generators, I guess, are all the way down in the lab?
I don't know. I think so.
Because I think that's where they have to go. That's where they end up.
Yeah, they have to go there.
And
which couldn't happen because they had to get out of there. Because it's all full. But it's not.
Well, it's
there's air in
mostly
there
full.
still.
Right. Yeah.
It would. It's all full.
It's all full.
The water's up to level 2 now.
Yeah, they're all dead.
I think at this point, I'm like, I don't know where they are. Eventually, someone's going to get to the top.
There's some other stairs that I guess were accessible to that area.
I'm not sure if that's how sinking works. But whatever. So they get down to the Jenny. They get it started. And they're just about to high-five each other. And Tom Jane's like, oh, no, turn around, Michael Rappaport. And the shark comes in and then smashes Scoggins into the generator and then electrocutes itself. Or just electrocutes Scoggins. I'm very unclear on what happens here.
I just wrote, Skarsgård, because they scream a bunch. And then I don't know what happens, but they go back up.
Well, only the one guy goes back up. The other guy's dead.
Carter. Yeah. It just cuts to Carter coming back up. Like, what happened down there? He didn't make it. Oh, did you check? Like,
No,
I just came back up.
Rappaport gets ripped apart.
Oh, he does. That's right. He does get chomped and torn up.
Not Michael Rappaport anymore. He's Michael ripped apart.
Michael ripped apart.
Oh.
Oh, boy. And then there's a weird thing here as well where Carter is trying to get through a door to get out and the shark's coming at him, but then the shark like doesn't chomp him. It like turns away. And he gets away.
Yeah, he like slapped at it and it's like, don't slap me.
I didn't see that.
And
He
it
was
runs
just
away.
yanking at the door the whole time, I thought.
It decided not to.
It appears to decide to not eat Carter.
That's the guy that's going to help him through the hallways. He can't be chomping that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
my friend, I think. I don't understand this movie. Upstairs, the doc is like, hey, I got to get that research. Because if I don't, everybody died for nothing. She's got a point. So she goes after her research and has to play the floor is lava in her office because the shark is in there. And I guess sharks hate coffee tables because she stands on a coffee table and the shark is like, not going after that.
I'm out of here.
That's an IKEA table and I've got standards.
This is so poorly and thinly veiled reason for her to get into her underwear.
Yes, right?
She stands on her wetsuit like that's going to make it to where she's not conducting electricity. That is the only on-screen explanation for why she is now in her underwear.
Right.
But in that shot where she stands on her wetsuit, she's got wetsuit booties on. If her wetsuit makes her,
Right.
It's just a reason to get her in her underwear. Wow.
And wet.
And wet.
Like, Fred Willard's like, what happened? Like 10 times in this movie.
But then she pulls an electrical conduit down and sticks it right in the shark's mouth as it's coming up to bite her. And it's like, "Arr, arr," and don't tase me. And it dies.
And everyone in a radius of like a half a mile gets electrocuted before the breaker trips and there's no more electricity.
Why is there no breaker? That's why you have breakers.
Because this is a cheap ass facility.
Yeah.
My God.
They spent all their money on wine for the sharks.
The generators are off. There's no solar panels. There's no electricity in this right now.
Yeah.
Did she go down there? Did she go down there to get the sample?
Her zip
of the
drives.
Brain juice?
I don't think
Her zip drives.
I don't know what happened to the sample of brain juice. It got washed away with Stelly scars, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she loses what she came down there for.
Yeah, it gets zapped.
In the water.
Her clothes?
All this happens for nothing.
I
That's what I'm saying.
see you. I see you, Renny. See what you're doing here.
It does kill one shark.
It does.
In terms of what it does for the movie.
No.
Right. I meant the whole movie. All of it happens for nothing.
So
This movie didn't even give us a cure for Alzheimer's. I mean, what a bunch of bullshit. Sorry, what a bunch of bullshark.
Oh.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'll show myself out. It's fine.
So they regroup in the shaft, and they have to flood it and swim out using their air tanks and life preservers as decoys, so that the sharks will go after those instead of people, even though the people are right next to the decoy. You don't put yourself next to the decoys, dum-dums.
They, in their defense, soaked those life jackets in wine before.
Yeah. They're like, we want to get them circling right above us.
Where we're going.
When we go up. Everybody just like tiptoe swim.
Very, very quiet.
Real quiet.
If you hold still, they won't see you. I think.
That's right.
I think that applies to dinosaurs and sharks. Aren't they the same?
Yeah.
And
Sharks.
then we're trying to hold still in water. Oh, no.
And so Preacher gets eaten. He doesn't get eaten. He gets bit in the leg, and the shark's carrying him around. Yeah. And so he takes his cross and stabs it in the eye, which is like one thing none of these people have tried doing ever, is stab the shark in the eye. It's right there. And it works. It lets him go. And
the power of Christ has compelled the shark.
Well, he does say that it is a devil. Like that's the context.
Yeah.
Christ won against evil itself, evil incarnate.
Yeah.
Or just hungry animals. Which we'll get into later as well. So Carter grabs him, pulls him up, and then Carter explains here that, hey, look at that. Because they're now outside, they can see the fence, and that because they're sunk, the whole facility is shrinking. The sharks can now get over the fence, or they can try to. And he says, this whole thing, the sharks have been leading us so that we would flood the entire facility, thus sinking it and making it so the sharks can escape. They just want freedom, which is what everybody wants, he says. Here we go.
A pack
but the fact that they used like that they've genetically linked the shark and human brains somehow, that we've put ourselves at the bottom of the food chain suddenly.
Right.
They're like, oh, look, we've created something that's going to wipe us out. I'm like, well, it's going to keep us out of the water, probably.
Till they learn how to fly.
Land shark.
Deep Blue Sea 2 flying sharks.
You mean like they get pilot's license and fly around in little Cessnas?
Yeah. And they become police in the third one. Street sharks. They're jawsome.
They're jawsome.
So they build.
All right.
They get some dynamite. I don't know where they get this dynamite. I guess it's just on top. And
they get it from the flare guns.
Okay.
They empty the flare guns and make their own sticks of dynamite.
They had flare guns. I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, because they used them for the birthday party.
And a car battery's up there, sure, and chain and line and all this. So they make some dynamite, and his spear gun that he used at the very first of the movie is up there as well. And he's gonna spear it, and then you hit the battery with the spear line that the dynamite's on, and that will cause the fuse to go underwater. Okay. But they're too far away. I can't shoot from here. I can't shoot him from here.
Oh my god.
And then this is where
I'm like, just shoot it.
Yeah.
You're gonna shoot it. Just shoot it. It goes on so long.
And Dr. McAllister's like, you're never going to be able to do it. I've got to do one thing. So she cuts her hand open and then dives in the water, making herself bait so that the shark will come closer, so that Carter can hit it. Good plan, right?
So smart.
Seen this a bunch of times in movies where somebody has to, get real brave.
If Carter would have rememred his contacts then he could have shot it from where he was at.
Okay.
It's just everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's every mistake you can
Well,
make.
it seems like it's a good plan. Because the shark is like, I'm going to stop trying to get freedom. I'm going to stop trying to bust through this fence. And he turns around and goes for her. And Carter's like lining up the shot. And it's coming for him. But then he does a barrel roll and bounces off of it in his sweet Carter moves, even though he could probably shoot it right there.
Yeah.
And then
He doesn't have the gun anymore.
He doesn't have the gun.
He's like, she goes, I've realized this is all my fault. Has a moment of realization, turns back to him, jumps in the water, sacrificing herself to kill the shark, and then he puts the gun down and jumps in after her.
I don't think she's sacrificing herself. She is being bait, but it doesn't work like it does in every other movie because the shark grabs her and eats her.
Yeah.
Wait.
And it didn't work
wasn't she
probably
our
because he
main?
threw down his fucking gun.
He could have shot it.
He could have shot it.
We all know that if he just shoots it, was it a harpoon gun at that point? It was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he just was shot it, he could just held it in place like he did earlier. It's really easy. You know, he can just stand there on the boat, holding his gun, and just holding the shark back.
And
like he's a kid, like he's pushing his forehead so he can't reach him.
Yeah.
She had one job, and that job was don't get in the water because I need you up here that when I shoot the shark, somebody's got to attach the thing to the battery so it explodes. But now you're in the water. What are you doing?
So he jumps in after her.
I'm going to set this gun down and go in. Oh, no, you got eaten. And I love when she gets eaten. There is a Aliens 4 Resurrection moment here where the shark looks at her and goes, Mama, and then bites her.
Yeah. And then it smiles at him after it eats her. Oh my God. You're like, that's too much, CGI guys. That's too much.
Yeah, that's the part that's too much. For about an hour and a half of too much.
So then Preacher, he has enough healing time, I guess, to crawl up and grab the harpoon. And he shoots the shark, but Carter's on top of the shark, and he shoots both through the fin and into Carter's leg. And he's like, oh, ow, whoops.
Yeah.
And then the shark sees a hole in the fence and goes, oh, fuck. All of this death could have been avoided, and just starts swimming for the hole in the fence.
Yep.
And then Carter is stuck to the shark. But the next thing we see is that Carter is on the fence, not stuck to the shark anymore. Yeah, the shark scraped him off.
He was a barnacle.
Yeah.
Which I think his leg comes off because the harpoon is still attached to the shark.
I feel like it was just in his wetsuit.
No, he goes, ah! And then later says, you shot me. You shot me with a harpoon.
Right.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to be bleeding anywhere.
No, he doesn't.
Later.
He's got a scratch on his leg.
Yeah. But then the Carter hits the battery and the shark blows up and it's this huge blood explosion and it's great. And then Carter swims back up and they say, hey, bud, glad you made it. And then the second crew shows up because now it's Monday. They're showing up to do their jobs. They don't have jobs anymore. They've been let go.
It's a tragic ending.
So they really did sleep through Saturday.
They slept through Saturday.
Yeah. Deep Blue Sea just follows the second crew in their search for new jobs.
New employment.
I guess we could start there because there are Deep Blue Sea 2 and Deep Blue Sea 3.
Before we get into your question, I want to let everybody know that Deep Blue Sea was in 1999. Deep Blue Sea 2 didn't happen until 2018. They
Oh
took
my God.
20
Whoa.
years to do this.
Really?
Because people were like, oh, I care. Been waiting on that
Weird.
one. Yeah. Let's bring back that franchise? I don't know. What's your question, Sam?
Well, we could speculate on what Deep Blue Sea 2 and Deep Blue Sea 3 would be that aren't, flying sharks and street sharks.
I like those better.
I
don't know.
would think, because they had the whole
do you
thing
stick
with the brain matter,
Uh-huh.
that it would be a good, because they're reanimating dead brain tissue, basically.
Ooh.
Sharkenstein?
Sharkenstein.
Which is kind of what this movie is anyways. Dr. McAllister is Dr. Frankenstein. So
Oops, I did it again.
Maybe we do a crossover sequel. Maybe it's her cousin Kevin McAllister gets left home alone at the new research rig.
right?
And these two sharks played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern find their way in.
You think I'm funny?
It's the
Am I a
same
funny
movie,
guy?
but
Am I a funny
Macaulay
shark?
Culkin's like
Do I make you laugh?
throwing paint cans at him and stuff.
But they're undead, right? At the same time, they're
Absolutely.
reanimated.
They had like brain swap. They actually put Joe Pesci's brain in a shark and Daniel Stern's brain in a shark. The Sharkenstein's research facility alone.
What about the shark with two brains? Just one shark. They're both in one shark. And so they're constantly arguing with themselves in her monologue.
Right.
Let's go this way. No, we're a shark. We can't go that way. That has stairs. And then they end up taking the stairs and there's a nail sticking on it in tar.
Perfect.
Yeah, the two shark
tar
brains
on his
are
fins.
Carl Reiner and Penny Marshall, and not a lot happens.
Okay. Jackie, question?
Oh, God, no.
Okay. Tucker, you got anything?
Nah, I got nothing.
Okay, I got a big one. Unless you got a small one, Sam.
Oh.
Okay. I got I don't know. It's probably smaller. This movie, because the lone survivor isn't the woman, all of this stuff, like, they're turned to the
Or the
camera
couple.
when it's not Jaws. Like, they're...
Yeah.
It's like telling you that it's breaking all the conventions, but it doesn't break any of the important conventions. And I guess that's not really a question as much as it is a statement.
Fair enough. Why don't we circle back and you can expand on that when we do final recommendations. Are these sharks guilty of murder?
No, they were drunk
Yes.
and they needed a smoke. And then they were just trying to make friends. I mean, we've discussed this throughout the episode.
Because Tom Jane's statement about them just wanting freedom is fair. These sharks are now as intelligent as man, right? Or maybe even
Something
more.
like that.
Wow.
Somewhere in there. And if they're approaching the intelligence of man, they're self-conscious, they're self-aware.
They could probably hang at like a NASCAR event.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's the level they're at.
And those are big freedom people. So the sharks they're being held against their will. This is shark napping, actually. And so the sharks are just trying to escape. I think these sharks shouldn't have been, the people are the murderers.
Shark trafficking.
Like, at the end,
It's true.
the shark can just go away. She doesn't have to jump in the ocean. He doesn't even have to shoot it and blow it up. There's a hole in the fence. Just let it go. Let it live its
But
life.
then it'll eat all the other sharks and then propagate a super shark species, and then we can't get into the water until they can fly, and then streets aren't safe until they're cops.
I'm willing to take that chance.
Yep.
To
There's your trilogy.
It's murder, Sam. They murder these sharks. They don't kill unconscious animals. They murder these sharks. Some of it in
Force
self-defense.
them into cannibalism too.
And force them into cannibalism. They treated these sharks like shit.
Yeah. But also, since man is the enemy, since man is the real monster here, guys.
Right.
And the sharks are part man now. Aren't they also the real monsters? I'm not letting them off the hook. Off
Corked.
the hook, I says.
Oh my god.
It's a fish thing. I didn't realize it. I'm sorry.
Good
I
Lord.
think I did that earlier with something else too. It's not good.
I have one tiny question left.
Okay.
How in the actual fuck does this have a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Whoa.
Right.
That's impressive.
It's got like a 5.9 on IMDb users too, so it's not only it's highly rated with users and critics, or overrated, because this is a stinker.
What?
It's a turd.
Yeah.
This is up there with Vertical Limit. Vertical Limit and this movie share a lot of similarities. So,
Oh yeah.
I don't see it, guys. I don't see this as a 6. However, I loved it. I'll go first on do's and don'ts. I thoroughly enjoy this movie. I've seen it a bunch of times. It's as stupid as they get. This is arguably the most idiot plot that has ever been, because at no point do they do right. None of it from the very get-go. It's so stupid. I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely highly recommend it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna go with don't.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. It was funny riffing it with you guys, but watching it was horribly painful, slow. I'm with Tucker when
There's
he
people
made...
getting eaten by sharks all the time.
I know, but I'm with Tucker when he says, like, oh my God, there's still 35, 45 minutes of this fucking turd left.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, oh God, okay, just fucking start killing them. Kill them all.
Okay, so
And let's cut this baby down in like 20 minutes.
a pair of scissors might change your opinion of it.
Yeah, because I was having fun with it. But then there comes a point where you're like, oh my God, they're just dragging it out to get it to an hour and whatever. And that kind of killed it for me.
Okay, I can.
Well, I mean, all of Saturday already made it on the cutting room floor.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
The 3-hour version.
Them going, oh God, I don't feel good. I drank too much. Tucker?
I agree with you, Jackie, but I'm going to say do. Because I do believe, like, I would have probably cut a few characters and then trim down the running time based, with that. Get this down to a tight 79 minutes and I'm all in. But I mean, I still say it's a do. If you're you're listening to a podcast called Stinker Madness, you're looking for stinkers. What else are you going to do?
It stinks.
Of course, watch it.
It stinks.
It stinks.
Yeah.
And I mean, I laughed. I was by myself and I laughed a few times out loud. So it's pretty fun.
My God.
Although it is really overly long. It's not even like a super long. It's like an hour 45 or something, but it feels longer to me.
It feels longer. It should have been 90 minutes. Would have helped it a lot. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. If it was only 90 minutes, I would have given it a do.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, you're...
I'm giving it a total do. It's almost required viewing for this show. I don't think it's as much fun as Deep Rising with Treat Williams.
Ooh, okay.
And it isn't as stupid as Vertical Limit. Vertical Limit made my existence in life was to try to understand how a movie that stupid could get made for about a year. Vertical Limit psychologically vexed me. I made other people watch it against their will, and I was like, how did this happen? You have to tell me how this happened.
Then we're going to have to do Vertical Limit after the Christmas holidays, because I just can't...
We haven't done it?
No, we haven't done an episode on Vertical Limit, but...
That's one of my reasons for doing this shit. Yeah, I mean,
I thought we
next pick
did.
I have,
No,
I guess,
we
is
have
that.
not. We have not.
Crazy.
Yeah, it has to be after Christmas time, because I need to know which is more stupid, because I just don't see it anything being... You can't make the hole wetter, Sam. This is as dumb as it gets.
Did we do Deep Rising?
No, we'd only discovered Deep Rising about a year ago.
Oh,
We might have to make that the run then.
Yeah.
well, that's a good one.
Okay.
That, and Deep Rising, because they're very similar.
Well, it sounds like we've got a full table ahead of us for 501 through 510. All right, let's move on, guys. We've got a little game here. It's time to go back to Pop Quiz Hot Shot. And we're going to do this one a little bit different since, there's 4 of us. Well, there's 3 of you playing. I know all the answers, so I can't play. Where Jackie's very eager with the and since we're doing this streaming and there is a little bit of delay, we're probably not going to be able to do the buzzers method of chiming in. So what I've invented is a point system. You all start out with 20 points, and you are allowed to gamble your points at any point in time before you answer. So I will give the question. Then if you would like to, you gamble, and somebody can gamble more points, and whoever gambles the most points gets to have an opportunity. Actually, they're the only person that is going to have an opportunity. This is only a 1 answer because you got a 50-50 chance here, because this is a game I've invented called Was It Dabney Coleman or Gerald McRaney?
I don't know either one of those people.
Well, here's the scenario.
If there was ever a game for me, it's this one right here.
Here's the deal. I recently started watching House of Cards, and don't do it. It's not a good show. I didn't enjoy it at all. I don't know what people's on it. But Gerald McRaney is in it. And for about maybe 10 episodes, I went back and forth and said, is that Gerald McRaney or is that Dabney Coleman? I seriously couldn't tell. And then I was like, okay, all right, they are the same man. This is what we're going to do. So when I answer a question, just say you would like to answer and declare, is it Gerald McRaney or Dabney Coleman? Jackie, you'll know Gerald McRaney as Major Dad. You will know Dabney Coleman, of course, as the mustached guy in the 80s, opposed Dolly Parton in several of her movies. Good looking mustache guy. 9 to 5.
Okay, yeah.
He's the boss in 9 to 5.
Did you see Cloak and Dagger?
I didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't see Cloak and Dagger? Oh. With him and Henry Thomas, 84-ish.
At the end of this, I'm going to have a wild card.
All right. Okay. All right. So first question, just say if you would like to bet. Remember, you start out with 20 points. Whoever has the most at the end will be the winner. Number 1, will turn 90 on January 3rd. Okay. How much are you gambling?
20 points.
You're going to gamble all of your points, which means that if you get it wrong, you can no longer play this game.
Okay, 10 points.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure I know who this is.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to do more than 10?
I'm not. That's too rich for my blood.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Jackie, it's you.
Dolly Parton guy.
Is it Dabney Coleman or Gerald McRaney?
The Dolly Parton guy.
Is it Dabney Coleman or Gerald McRaney?
Which one is the Dolly Parton guy?
They both worked at some point with Dolly Parton. So I need a name.
Are you talking about the 9 to 5 guy?
Yeah, 9 to 5 guy.
I need a name.
That's Dabney.
Who's that?
Dabney Coleman.
Dabney Coleman.
Okay, that is Dabney Coleman.
Yes, 9 to 5 Dolly Parton guy.
Try to remember the rules of the game. You have a 50% chance of saying Dabney Coleman or Gerald McRaney. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so Dolly Parton guy or not Dolly Parton guy?
No,
got it.
I will not accept that answer. You will lose your points next time you do that.
Well, Tucker will help me. He knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, number 2 is an avid tennis player.
I'll put 5 on this.
Sam's got 5.
I'll go 7.
Ooh, Tucker's taking 7. Jackie, you going to beat 7?
No, because I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a guess.
Okay, Tucker.
I'm going to guess Gerald McRaney.
It is Dabney Coleman. Tucker is down to 13 points. Number 3.
Were you going to guess Dabney Coleman?
No, I was going to...
Sam?
What? No,
Were
I
you
was
gonna guess?
I was going to guess Dabney Coleman, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were.
He
That's why I
actually
only did 5, because I didn't really know.
he actually was a tennis instructor for many years. Number 3.
I don't know that much about Dabney Coleman, but I know a fair amount about Gerald McRaney.
Number 3. Married to Delta Burke. Jackie.
10 points on this one.
20 points.
Tucker's. You only have 13, Tucker. You cannot bet 20.
Oh, 13 points.
Okay.
13 points.
Tucker is down to 13. Anybody beaten 13?
I'll do 15.
15, Jackie. Sam, you beaten 15?
I thought can I rewager?
You're up to 15. What is your bet?
I'll do 20.
Sam is going to take 20. Jackie, do you want to beat 20?
No.
Okay. Sam.
Did you say married to or was married to?
Married to. Is
Gerald McRaney and Delta Burke are divorced, sir.
That's not what the internet says.
Really? Did they get remarried?
I will accept your answer. It is Gerald McRaney. Sam is now in the lead with 40 points. We're going to move on. Number 4. Both have been nominated, but who won a SAG award? Was it Gerald McRaney or Dabney Coleman?
I'm risking 10.
And SAG, Jackie, just so you know, and everybody listening at home, is the Screen Actors Guild. Jackie's risking 10. Okay. Anybody doing better than 10?
Yeah. No.
The not Dolly Parton guy.
Is it Dabney Coleman or Gerald McRaney?
Who's the not Dolly Parton guy? McRaney?
Gerald McRaney.
McRaney.
Yeah.
Not Dolly Parton guy.
I'm sorry, it's Dabney Coleman.
Dang it!
He won for Boardwalk Empire. Jackie is down back to 20.
They don't give out prestigious awards for Simon and Simon and Major Dad.
Well, hold on.
They should give out all of the prestigious awards for Simon and Simon. They missed the boat on that one.
I didn't realize that had 9 seasons. That show was on forever.
That show's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Both have been nominated for an Emmy, but who won? Was it Gerald McRaney or Dabney Coleman?
I got 10 on this one.
I'll give him my 13. I got 13.
Tucker's all in. Jackie beating 13. You only got 20.
No.
Okay. Tucker's.
I may be out, but I'm going to go Gerald McRaney.
It is Gerald McRaney for This Is Us. So as you said, Dabney Coleman doesn't have an Emmy, but Gerald McRaney does. So I don't know. Who appeared in 3 episodes of Gunsmoke? Was it Gerald McRaney or Dabney Coleman?
I'm risking 20.
20? You just want to get out of this game.
21.
Dang it.
Tucker can do it. Sam, you beating 21?
I'm not touching this
Okay.
one.
Tucker.
I'm going to say Dabney Coleman.
It is Gerald McRaney.
Gerald McRaney.
Oh!
Tucker's down to 5.
Down to 5.
Okay.
Shit.
Here's where things get interesting. Whom is 6'1"? You guys are gonna.
I'll go 10.
You guys are gonna hate me right here. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. You guys are gonna hate me right here. Sam's going 10.
I'm going 11.
Jackie's going 11. Tucker cannot play.
Nope.
Jackie.
They're both 6'1".
Oh, good pickup. They are both 6'1". Jackie's back at 31. Who played a role as a chauvinistic mustache guy opposite 3 working women?
I'm all in.
Well,
Jackie is all in with 31. Sam, you are the only one that can beat her with your 40.
I will put all 40 in.
40
Damn it.
in. Sam?
Gerald McRaney.
Dolly Parton guy.
Both. I got you again.
Both?
Oh.
Which means Jackie
I
won.
love-
Yes! Winner by default.
Yeah, Gerald McRaney was Delta Burke's husband in Designing Women. That's where he's from. So, of course, 9 to 5 and Designing Women.
Oh, I forgot that Dabney Coleman was in Designing Women.
No, Dabney Coleman
Which
wasn't.
one of them's in the Christmas Story? That's the real question.
Dabney Coleman wasn't in Designing Women. Gerald McRaney was in Designing Women. And
I know that.
Okay, and Dabney Coleman was in 9 to 5. So they both played mustache chauvinistic guys opposite 3 working women.
Oh, how about that?
Okay, who was in Christmas Story?
Yeah.
I will go with
Oh,
Gerald McRaney. That's my guess.
Coleman.
Darren McGavin, because he looks like those guys too.
oh, okay.
Oh my God.
I can't
I
tell
was
the
like,
difference
I don't
between
think either one are in there. What are you talking about?
I can't tell the difference between Dabney Coleman and Darren McGavin sometimes.
Oh, crazy.
All right, Jackie, it is your turn for spookies.
Yes, gentlemen, be ready to be scared out of your pants.
We'll try.
Oh boy.
Okay. This one is called...
Do I take my pants off now, or
No,
at the
just in
end?
case you shit.
Okay, so now I should take my pants off now.
Well, no, because you'll hit a dog.
Okay. Can I take them off anyways?
Sure. This one is called Montpelier Hill in County Dublin, Ireland.
Okay.
And it's for our listener and constant commenter. And I'm going to screw this up. Satanta Clausey
Yep.
from Talach.
Yep, Clausy.
Clausey from Talach.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we going? Or are you still
At
waiting
the
for my pants to
summit
come off?
is a building called Hellfire Club. Or maybe the first Freemasons of the area.
The Hellfire Club.
The Hellfire Club.
From Marvel Comics that Daredevil fights against all the time.
What
It's a
was
real
the
thing.
other? The second name was the Hell First Club?
The Hellfire Club or the first Freemasons.
Huh.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Hellfire Club.
The building was built in 1725, and the club was formed in 1735 by the first Earl of Rossi, Richard Parsons.
I don't know about you guys, but I am very scared.
Yes.
Like, this is
Terrifying.
This is intense stuff right here.
There's
for a history lesson.
There is one painting of the club that shows 5 members, and they're all like dukes and earls and barons. So this is a club for rich assholes.
Most clubs are.
Okay.
Is there a poor club? Like, hey, we're a bunch of poor guys. Let's get together and form a club. I guess bowling league.
Taverns.
Bowling league is.
Bowling gets expensive.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
It's true.
Okay. And one of their most famous members that was part of this group, right? He always had a chair. It was always left empty for him. The devil.
Okay.
Okay.
The actual devil, Lucifer.
The devil.
Okay.
They had an open chair and they left it open for him. Nobody could sit there.
Boy, that guy never shows up. Is he paying his dues? Because, I mean, he's never here.
Oh, but he does show
True.
up. And their mascot is a black cat. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The club was active from 1735 to 1741 and was disbanded upon the first Earl of Rossi's death in 1941 or 1741. So during this time, it starts off right. They're going to use this building for their Hellfire Club. And the first thing that happens is there's a giant windstorm and it blows the roof off of their building.
Was the roof on fire as it was blowing off?
No. It's just the roof blows off, and so they have to put on a new roof before they can start using the building.
Wait, hold on. Is this a ghost story or a story of troubled
Does
construction?
it get scarier, guys? That's my
Well,
question.
they said it was because of the devil.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't ready to party yet, so he blew the roof off, so that they would have to postpone their first meeting.
I'll huff and I'll puff. But I won't pay my dues.
That's right. So during this time, they used the building to get drunk and have orgies and practice demonic manifestations.
Okay. Well, 2 of those things sound fun.
Okay.
You know, I don't really believe in the devil, so I'll do all 3. What the hell?
Yeah. So they have So they have this baron that's part of their group, right? And in 1739, he gets convicted of murder.
Okay.
And he gets stripped of all his titles, and then he's part of the Hellfire Club, right? So like a year later, they're like, oh, I guess it's no big deal, and they give him back all of his shit, and then he just keeps going. That's how rich these fuckers are.
So 2 justice systems.
Right.
Yeah. Shut it down. Let's take to the streets.
So they do have...
Steve Bannon shit.
So this is where it starts to get spooky. Okay, here's some of the stories.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
It had better.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty frightened of authoritarianism and corruption within our justice system, so I'm a little frightened.
All right. So the first story coming out of this gentleman's club, right,
Gentleman's club. I don't think you know what a gentleman's club is.
is there's this priest and he's walking along really late at night, comes up to the Hellfire Club. He's not a member, so I mean, what the fuck is he doing up there,
How
right?
did I get here?
And he walks in on them sacrificing a black cat.
Okay.
So they're holding him
Or
back.
cooking. Could
And
have
they're
been dinner.
they're trying to see. There's a lot of explanations that could have been happening, but he says that they're sacrificing this black cat. So he throws out an exorcism as he's being held back by the members.
Like a lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Exorcism.
What?
Exorcism.
And a demon jumps out of the cat's dead body and escapes.
Oh.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
I disagree.
Okay.
Okay.
Where do we go from here?
It's going to get scarier. So one spooky, stormy night.
Wait. And so the priest just left? He's like, I've seen enough. Good
Well,
night.
the cat was saved, right? The demon left the cat's body. So
I thought they were so it seemed like they weren't sacrificing the cat. They were actually helping it.
no, because the cat had a demon in it. And the priest saved the cat's soul by releasing the demon through an exorcism that he did while his hands were bound.
Well, that wraps this up. I bid you gentlemen good night and adieu.
Okay, second spooky tale that happened from 1735 to 1741. There is a strong storm, and a stranger appears at the Hellfire Club and wants to play cards. And these guys like to drink, right? They're drinking this stuff called Schkane, and it's whiskey and buttermilk or butter rum.
Okay.
And so they're just fucked up, right? So they're playing cards, and one member drops his card on the ground. So he bends down to pick it up, and underneath the table, he sees the stranger's feet that are cloven hooves. And as soon as he realizes it, the stranger turns into a ball of fire and disappears.
Good night.
He doesn't sit in his fucking chair?
No.
Yeah, seriously.
That's your chair, bud. Wait.
He's a little skittish.
Okay, the context that is being implied is like, well, I want to be part of this club. I've got a chair. It seems like you guys are all a good time. You drink a lot, and I'm pretty down with that. Being the devil and all. And but I can't let you know that I actually am here. As soon as you know that I'm the devil,
Yeah.
even though I, like partaking in a little scotch and eggnog here and there, I can't have that. The minions can't know that I'm up here playing cards, all right? Gotta go back down there and keep everybody in line, because if I give those little assholes a little bit of slack again, the next, when the cat's away, the mice will play. You know how it is being a boss. And so I'll just turn into a ball of fire now. And, I hope to see you all again.
See, it's scary. Okay, next scary thing that
Again, I
happens.
disagree.
Okay, Sam, I'm getting to the really scary business. I got two more from this time period. Okay, so, because there's a second time period. I'll let you guys know. It's coming.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so, not only did they sacrifice cats at Black Mass, but they did some other animals as well, but they don't really list them. But they do sacrifice
Sharks.
a dwarf here and there.
Okay.
Because, they go around and they get the village dwarves and they sacrifice them because they need human sacrifices, for a few things. So they go out and they find the local dwarves like once or twice a year, and they have this big shindig and they kill a dwarf.
Okay. Is that the end?
No.
Okay, let's just get past that one. I'm not
Okay, so
I'm not riffing dwarf murder.
so
I draw the line somewhere.
Bridge
I
too
guess
far.
it's here.
So along with all these sexual orgies and dwarf murders and cat murders, there was a fire.
Okay.
And
Probably because Satan leaving. I haven't learned how doors work. We don't have them in hell. Seems like you guys did something really cool here. I'm a big fan of the wheel, the online porn, and doors. But I'm only clear on how one of those works. It's the porn.
okay, so I've got 4 theories about why this happened, and then you guys can choose which theory you think is true. The fire, they weren't going to get a renewal on their lease for the building, so they set the fucking thing on fire.
Now,
Sounds right.
Now it says right here that in this Satan Satan Club clause here that we can't sacrifice cats. Is that negotiable?
Okay, option number 2. They wanted a more hellish appearance to the building, so they set it on fire.
You can't freeze fire. You can't like.
It's a real temporary solution.
Yeah.
Hey, look at it. It looks all Satan. Oh, well, where are we going to meet now?
They just went down the hill to somebody's house.
Oh, okay.
Why the building was being
Set that
redone.
on fire.
When can we go
All
back
my
in?
stuff was in there.
Option number 4. They were burning a lady in a barrel, and oops, the place caught on fire.
Seems likely.
Okay, and the last one. At Black Mass, a footman spilled a drink on the leader's chest.
Okay.
And messed up his nice coat. So the leader gets fucking pissed and pours brandy all over the footman and then lights his ass on fire. But the members were so damn drunk that they couldn't get out. So like a bunch of the members died and the place went up in smoke.
That's.
So is that what really happened?
You tell me.
It's either the first or the
I'm
last.
going to go with
yeah.
the least thing. These gentlemen seem stupid enough to break their lease. They don't seem like reputable guys that are going to honor the terms of a contract. So yeah, I'm going to go with burn the place down for least damage.
Tucker, Sam?
I'm going to go with the last one where they just are such dicks that they end up killing themselves.
I really want that one to be the one. It could be, but I think I'm going to go with the first one, the lease.
Actually, gentlemen, those are all 4 of those are stories about why the fire happened, but they cannot tell you what really happened.
So you suck.
Yep.
You also broke is it Dabney Coleman or Gerald McRaney rules?
Yes. But the one that gets repeated the most is he got pissed off at a footman and tried to burn him alive, and then the guy ran all over the place, and the
Which
members
doesn't make
got
sense to me
trapped.
because like maybe alcohol was different back then. Maybe it was more like Everclear. But alcohol really doesn't burn that good. Like you can't.
Brandy won't burn. It's only 20%.
No, brandy's 40. I drink it. It's 40 proof.
It won't. It
I mean, not
gotta
40
be
proof.
over 60% to burn, right?
Yeah, I think it has to be high, which means like so that's what I'm saying. If it's like grain alcohol, maybe is what they were drinking back then. But people always you can't just make a Molotov cocktail with vodka. It doesn't work that way.
No, 151 is the one that burns
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, so I call bullshit.
151 and up is where you start fires.
Well, maybe they just wanted out of their lease.
Yeah. This club is dumb.
So the club dies, like I said, with the original founder. And then he has 30 years in 1771.
Mm-hmm.
So sometime later, he's got a son named Thomas Buck Whaley.
Hey, I'm Tom Buck.
Tom Buck.
Where do you keep your teenage girls?
And he restarts the club in 1771, and it goes for 30 years.
Okay.
And they shut it down when he dies, and then it doesn't reboot. So
Not very exciting chapter for Tom Buck.
Tom Buck renames the group because they can't call it the Hellfire Club, right? That's already been done.
Hey, why not?
So they call it the Holy Fathers.
The Holy Fathers.
The Holy Fathers.
Fish and chips. Restaurant.
That's not better
No.
at all.
So to celebrate this new club, right, and to really get the members going, they kidnapped and murdered
Charles Lindbergh's son.
and ate the farmer's daughter.
The one with razor blades in her pussy?
Yes, that one.
Wow.
They couldn't rape her because of the razor blades, but
Let's eat her.
they did eat her. And nobody said anything because, these guys are all like fucking wealthy and shit, right? But the son ends up, when he's on his deathbed, he's like, I did it. We kidnapped her, we murdered her, and we ate her as part of a ritual. And I feel kind of bad about it, and I don't want to go to hell because the devil's not that nice and he doesn't show up at my events. So he confesses, and then they shut the club down.
I feel really bad about eating the farmer's daughter, mostly because I put too much pepper on her. My bad.
So now I will now tell you, gentlemen, about the spooky ghosts.
No, there's spooky ghosts too.
Oh, there was spooky ghosts?
Yes, I had to give you the background.
Oh, okay.
The one apparition that everybody sees is a giant black cat.
Okay. Giant, not just a black cat.
It's a giant black cat.
So does that imply that they murdered a giant black
Wow.
cat?
Yes,
or that
during
in
the
death-
exorcism with the priest.
Like a panther?
Right?
It doesn't say.
Or a tiger
Like
painted
how-
black.
Or is it like a kaiju? How giant is it?
It wasn't real specific.
That's the biggest damn ghost I've ever seen. It's destroying Tokyo. Have not
Look at
seen
the size of that one.
The end.
Oh, boy.
You know how to ride them, honey.
What? It was a great story about rich assholes that, had sex with people and killed cats and ate a farmer's daughter.
Allegedly. I haven't seen a body yet, mostly because she got churned into poop. That's your show, guys. Thank you again, Tucker, for being here this week and all the other weeks that you are here. You are an unsung hero of this podcast, which is actually not true because the fans really like you.
You're a podcast hero.
Thanks.
With stars in his eyes? I don't know if anybody actually wants to be a podcast hero.
With his one microphone, he blew them
You see me
away.
strutting down the street, singing that in my
I'm
head.
on a podcast.
Podcast hero.
Yeah, you can sing that. It's like makes the blow of hosting fees less harsh.
Yeah.
But I'm a hero. How much to host this fucking thing?
Okay, so next week on the show, I'm going to pass, I guess, on my pick and make it Sam's pick. You got a Christmas movie lined up at all, Sammy? No? Is the face?
I do not.
Okay, well, we will try to do a Christmas movie next, if possible. We're running low on those, so we'll see where we're at. I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks for listening again and sticking with us through the whole thing. Jackie, you wanted to say something?
Sam, there's one on the Netflix called The Rodeo Christmas.
I've had some on my Amazon list. I'm going to see if they're still there. There's some real shitty ones out there.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a great week. Get to the chopper.